Why, hello everyone! I'm your lovely host, Innocent, and welcome to Wander No More. I found this game on Steam, and it looked really interesting. The art style is really nice. It's definitely different, but I really like it. And as you all know, I'm a sucker for art styles. Sucker for art styles. I'm not a sucker. What's a sucker? Anyway, I don't really know what the story is. I don't know why. I think I just forgot it. At least from what the Steam page says. I forgot. So, without further ado, let's start the game. Wander No More takes place on an alternate Earth. Though obviously based off of feudal Japan, the towns described in Wander No More are completely fictional, as are the characters, events, and so on. Any similarities to real people, places, or events are entirely coincidental. Do not expect historical references or any mention of real wars or events. Wander No More is an indie game that was made just to be enjoyed. Okay. Thanks. Oh, this is a little bit weird, but okay. When I was a boy, joining the Kodokushi was my dream. Every day I heard the tales of their exploits, whether they were protecting our land, driving away enemy forces, or taking the fight directly to them. They were hailed as an elite military force devoted to protecting and expanding my kingdom's reach, and always serving their people righteously. Thanks to them, we could live without fear of being conquered. In fact, our territory actually expanded as time went on, all thanks to their tireless efforts and unyielding bravery. The Kodokushi were truly our saviors, the most forthright noble souls in the country, if not the world. Believing that from the bottom of my heart, I trained every day, single-mindedly working towards my goal of joining the Kodokushi. I grew up to be strong, fast, flexible, beyond the reach of any of my peers. As a result, before I even reached adulthood, I was already a top contender to join the Kodokushi, and the day I hit 18, I was welcomed with open arms. It was the happiest moment of my life. A decade of training had paid off, and my dream had been realized. And everything is on fire. Or so I thought. The village standing before me, now burned to a crisp and devoid of human life, was the work of the Kodokushi. It was not an enemy village. There were no combatants to be found here, nor did its inhabitants pose any threat. Thank you, Henry. It was just an ordinary, everyday village stuck between two opposing kingdoms. And for the Kodokushi, that was reason enough. After joining the Kodokushi, I quickly realized that our work was neither noble, nor righteous, or normal. We were not saviors of the people. We were not almighty defenders protecting the innocent villagers from harm. We were a death squad. Every day we would venture forth, treading just a little bit further away from home, searching for the enemy. Pardon me. An honorable task, to be sure. We would drive away any threats before they could further encroach upon our land, taking the fight away from the innocent passerbys. But as soon as I learned, the Kodokushi's definition of an enemy differed vastly from my own. Any village not under our kingdom's direct control, or not paying us a protection fee, would be decimated. Blech. Thousands of I should know how to say the word innocent. That's my name. Mouth. What's wrong with you? Thousands of innocent people whose only crime was to not grow up under our jurisdiction were killed in cold blood, never even given the chance to surrender. We slaughtered men, women, and children, even newborn babies, all in the name of our Lord, the Emperor. I should have known they would have followed me here. Nobody leaves the Kodokushi alive, no matter how high their rank or how long they served. Now, because I chose to flee here, those people are all...
The bastard isn't here either.
There's voice acting! Oh!
Are we even going the right way? This is Captain Nabatame we're talking about.
My Nabatame?
He knows how we operate. He's probably heading in the opposite direction.
Damn. I hadn't thought about that. Let's keep moving. Wherever he's headed, Captain Nabatame isn't here.
I watched in silence from a nearby forest as the last of the Kodokushi moved on. I had successfully evaded their surveillance and hidden myself by blending in with my surroundings, just as the Kodokushi themselves have taught me. So I waited, patiently biding my time until the last unit left my sight, at which point I could finally relax once more. Those bloodhounds don't give up. It's understandable that they would want to silence me, given what I know, but to chase me this far away from the kingdom? Even I won't be able to evade them forever. Though, still alight, I returned to the village the Kodokushi had just passed through. I had been running for weeks, and I desperately needed food and water, much more than I could find while fleeing, though, through desolate wastelands and forests. If I hurry, maybe I can find some supplies before they're all burnt to ash. I don't care what it is. At this point, plain rice and water would be enough. With that simple goal in mind, I wandered around the village, quickly checking each building for scraps of food. I put out fires where I could, using sheets and other miscellaneous pieces of cloth to deny oxygen to the flame. But as far as food was concerned, I found nothing. Only bloody corpses and scorched rations remained, leaving me without a single morsel to eat. Come on, there has to be something edible around here that hasn't been torched. Ooh, pardon me. A little bit gassy today, sorry guys. How poor does the village have to be not to have... As I frantically searched for food, I heard a faint whimper from within one of the houses. I immediately abandoned my search and headed to the next house over, quickly putting out the flames as I listened for the voice I had heard moments ago. But even without another sound to go on, there was only one room in the house, and the moment I opened the door, I saw... She got no hand! A girl?
Mama. Papa.
She ain't got no hand! Within a burning village, one in which no survivors should have remained, was a young girl. A single girl, crying alone in a house storeroom surrounded by rations I would have killed for mere minutes ago. As my gaze rested on the girl, however, food was the last thing on my mind. All I could see was the young girl, orphaned by an unwarranted and unprovoked attack, for which I was responsible. Amazing, this little girl actually managed to hide herself from the Kodokushi. I'm the only one they're after, of course, and they've been pursuing me for weeks now, so it's not unthinkable that a few innocents might escape their grasp. Even so...
Huh?
I opened the storeroom's door wider, revealing my presence to the girl sobbing within. She gazed at me in shock, not expecting to be discovered and no doubt wondering whether I was a friend or foe. And once her eyes made their way to my katana at my hip, she had her answer.
Mama. Papa. Help me.
Once again crying out for her parents, the young girl moved back, trying to put as much distance between us as she could. She pushed back with her legs, scraping the tattered yukata on the floor while tightly holding something in her hand. It was her not hand! Oh, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be laughing at this, but I am. Even as she almost tripped over, the girl didn't use her hands, instead grasping tightly at her wrist, refusing to let go. That was when I realized this girl had lost more than just her family. She lost a hand! This poor girl. She can't be any older than 14 years old, and yet she's already lost not only her family, but also a limb. No, that's just a hand. That is just a hand. I can see where her elbow is. No. Even if she survives, life is not going to be easy for her. Everyone she once knew is now dead, and her village will need repairs, impossible for a girl with one hand. Would it be kinder for me to end her misery? I put my hand on the hilt of my katana, which dangled wearily from my hip. As I did so, the girl before me let out an inaudible whimper, and froze on the spot.
Little girl, what's your name?
Oh shit, I have a voice! What? What? The girl opened her mouth to speak, but hesitated to actually respond. Her vocal cords, like the rest of her body, froze in my presence, worried that the blade at my hip was not just for show.
Chio. I say.
Though barely audible, the girl before me answered, her voice wavering as she did.
Tell me, Chio, do you want to live?
Do you want to live? Chio continued to stare at me with fear in her eyes, likely interpreted my question as a threat.
I don't... I don't...
I see.
I drew my katana from its sheath and pointed its tip towards the girl's throat. I thought my days of killing defenseless children were over, but just this once, I slowly pulled my katana from the side, preparing to cut down the girl before me with a single strike. With a simple flick of the wrist, I would behead her, granting instant death to a girl who deserved no further pain.
If that is your wish, Chio, then
I don't want to die!
Okay. Her voice could have been louder there. Just saying. Anyway, a second before I could swing my blade, Chio shouted out, finally completing her answer. Immobilized by fear, her words reached my ears in fragments, giving the illusion that the girl I wished for death. But with strong conviction and an unmistakable will to live, Chio's true desire reached my ears at last, and the blade in my hand lost all of its power. What an impressive girl! Even with her entire life going up in flames, she still hasn't lost her will to live. Regardless, she is still just a young girl, and a child with one hand cannot hope to survive out here on her own. Henry! If she's going to have any shot at survival, then...
All right, Chio. I understand. If you truly wish to live, then as the one responsible for all of this, it is my duty to make sure that happens.
I'm just imagining Chio. What? I sheathed my blade and reached out my hand towards the shivering girl. Ew, hello.
My name is Koichiro Nabatame. I am a trader on the run from my kingdom. And from this day onward, Chio, you are my daughter.
You're my daughter now. You hear? You're gonna be mine. 1 year later. 1 year later. Hotsu Village, home of the merciful Nabatame family. In the year that has passed since its destruction, Hotsu Village has slowly been restored. Pardon me. I don't know where this is coming from. All by ourselves, Chio and I have worked tirelessly to bring life back to this village, and although we are still a long way from finished, our efforts have not been in vain. The house I was able to save from the fire has been undergoing steady repairs, mostly at the hands of yours truly, to the point where many of the buildings are habitable once more. Chio, unable to assist with the manual labor, familiarized herself with the neighboring forest and took on the role of a gatherer, missing fruit and berries for the two of us to eat. She also showed me where her family used to go for water, a river within the forest in which the two of us now bathe. Like so, we were able to secure the bare essentials, food, water, and shelter. We developed a routine, divided our duties, and eventually learned to trust one another within our lives. Just like a real family.
Oh my, if it isn't Chio-chan. Are you done gathering food already?
As I wandered through the village, the mention of a familiar name caught my attention.
Almost. Just one more basket, and I'll be done.
I need a sippy sippy.
You really are a good girl. Koichiro-sama doesn't know how lucky he is to have such a wonderful young girl by his side.
Following Chio's voice, I turned around the corner to find her conversing with an elderly woman, whose name I had not yet learned.
Ah, speak of the devil. Good morning, I mean, Nabatame-sama.
Please,
Ooh.
be at ease.
Shit!
Just call me Koichiro like everyone else does.
Shit, man, he's hot! I've only seen, the sprites. I've only seen this side of the screen thus far in screenshots. He's never been on the side!
Understood, Koichiro-sama. So, are you here to check up on Chio-chan?
Don't be silly. Ko was just looking for work that needs to be done.
Okay.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, that's so. Move the fuck along, lady.
I wouldn't be surprised. Koichiro-sama just can't sit still, can he?
Maybe I can,
Not
maybe I
until this
can.
village has been restored to its former glory. Unless you'd like to take over for me, of course.
Careful what you say. I might just take you up on that offer. Of course, you'd have to take over weaving clothing for everyone in my place.
Lady, you're funny.
Weaving? That I would like to see.
I retract my offer.
I bet you
But
do.
if you need a loom, I might be able to make you one. There are only minor repairs needed on the houses, so as long as we don't take in any new vagrants, I should have enough spare wood.
Oh, Koichiro-sama. That would be wonderful.
Oh yes, old lady.
You have no idea how much time and effort goes into making a single article of clothing.
I mean, I do. I'm a seamstress. I sew. I understand.
Is it really that difficult? I should be done gathering food soon, so if you need help...
No. You don't have to do that, Chiyo-chan. My hands may be old and weary, but as long as they still serve a purpose, I'll be happy.
I bet you do, old lady. Hopefully you don't die at the end of this.
Besides, there's no way I could gather food like you do. Let's each do our part, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. On that note, the elderly woman walked away, wearing a troubled smile as she did. Weaving, like so many other tasks, undertaken by members of our village, required 2 hands. Knowing this, the woman tried to let Chiyo down gently, reaffirming her place as a vital gatherer. But for Chiyo, that was not enough. Even as this town has taken a migrant after migrant, Chiyo's sense of responsibility hasn't changed the slightest. From day one, she tried to do her best in every aspect, taking on tasks we both knew she couldn't possibly complete. And as the one person here who knows Chiyo better than anyone else, I know all too well what happened to her when her disability prevents Chiyo from doing her part.
You know, Chiyo, even if traditional weaving requires 2 hands, the same cannot be said for looms. Would you like me to make a loom for you as well?
Ko, are you saying that I might possibly be able to weave after all?
I am indeed. Besides, if I'm making one loom, it shouldn't be difficult to make another while I'm at it.
You know what his voice kind of reminds me of? It sounds like somebody's making a really odd Samurai Jack impression. Anyway.
What do you say? Do you want to give it a shot?
Absolutely! I definitely want to try it! Koichiro, you're the best!
I'll remember you said that.
And Chiyo kind of sounds like Kagome from Inuyasha a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's where my mind is right now, and I thought I should just speak it. So.
Now, let's get back to work. I'm just about to start on the wooden bowls you've been asking for, so make sure to bring back enough to fill them, okay?
Of course! You can count on me!
Full of spirit once more, Chiyo dashed off with a skip in her step, eager to complete her morning duties. Phew, that was a close one. What was that old lady thinking? It may not be a rule, but even newcomers should have the sense not to shoot down Chiyo like that. And of course, the end result is that I now need to make 2 looms, despite the fact that I've never even made one. Honestly, it's times like this I miss living alone with Chiyo. Even if it was more work, life was simpler back then. I only had to look out for Chiyo and I, and our duties were divided evenly, making for a straightforward routine life. Now this village houses a dozen or so residents, most of them who I do not even know the name of. Worse, half of them are too old or too young to be put to work, so jobs can't be divided evenly. Without realizing it, I've become the leader of a budding village of wanderers. A few hours passed by since I spoke to Chiyo. Chiyo. It's not Chiho. This isn't Devil's a part-timer. And true to my promise, I greeted her with a pair of wooden bowls.
Whoa, those are really... well, I appreciate the effort.
You needn't say a word. I can see how terrible they are.
Henry, you need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, don't be like that. They aren't that bad. They just need a little fixing up, that's all. Preferably by someone else.
Damn, Chio. Dragging him. You dragging him. You roasting him, boy.
You said it. The sooner we get more able-bodied men around here, the better.
Oh, the dog's up. As much as I enjoyed the solitary lifestyle Chio and I shared, it didn't take long for the two of us to realize we didn't possess the skills necessary to rebuild a village. For obvious reasons, I took on the manual labor, but that didn't change the fact that I lacked any knowledge of woodwork whatsoever. Similarly, Chio did not know how to sew or cook, and many of the things she did know how to do proved too difficult with one hand. We gradually limped along, of course, making concessions? Concessions. I don't know why my brain doesn't want to read that word right now, but concessions along the way. I fumbled my way through basic repairs, and Chio learned how to work around her disability. But even then, we were still amateurs. My shoddy repairs would not last forever, and Chio would often run into tasks she could not complete no matter how hard she tried.
Cheer up. You know I didn't mean it. You're doing your best. Just like everyone else here. And that's all anyone can ask of you.
Thank you, Chio. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Ooh, there was a spike in her mic right there.
Now let's dig in while the fruit is still fresh.
Despite her complaints, Chio filled both of the bowls with a mixture of berries and fruit from the forest. She then placed the bowl on either side of the table and sat down, gesturing for me to do the same. Fruit and berries, yet again. It's been months since I last ate meat, and that minor luxury was only because Chio found a wounded rabbit while she was gathering food. Forget laborers. What this village really needs is a hunter. While secretly pinning for the taste of flesh, I unconsciously began to drool.
Hey, I'm glad you were looking forward to this, but if you're that hungry, just dig in.
Following Chio's line of sight, I hastily wiped my mouth and started eating. In reality, eating fruits and berries every day wasn't so bad. There was some variety based on how far in the forest Chio went, and the taste was quite sweet. Furthermore, after working hard all morning, the watery taste was rather refreshing, and even after eating a bowlful, I didn't feel bloated.
Nice work, Chio. These taste great.
I was hoping you'd like them. I went deep into the forest for this batch, especially for you.
Especially for you.
For me?
For you.
That's right. You've been working non-stop lately, so I thought you deserved a little reward.
If you know how hard I've been working, tell those other slackers to get to work.
What? What did you say for those other slackers? You did not pronunciate your words there, sir. Are you okay?
Even children can pick berries, right? And if they took over gathering food, you'd be able to help me out more often.
Ko, don't be like that. Children can't discern between edible berries and poisonous ones, and none of them know the layout of the forest like I do.
That's because you've been working at it for a year.
Just leave the food gathering to me. And if you feel like you need a break, then take one.
I'm never going to take a break. Having said her piece, Chio herself began to eat the platter she had prepared. She joyfully consumed mouthful after mouthful, not at all tired of the familiar taste. But rather than join her, I continued to watch Chio, deriving a strange sense of pleasure from watching her elation. Whoa. It's hard to believe that even now, after living together for a full year, I'm still learning from Chio. Rather than worrying about the division of labor or fretting over the food I eat, I should be content with what I have. After all, if a girl like Chio, whose entire world came crashing down without warning, is still able to smile like that after all she's been through, then maybe one day...
Don't just watch me eat. You need to keep your energy up too, you know. I'm sorry that's just the same as ever, but you still need to eat.
Noticing that I wasn't eating, Chio softly reprimanded me in her usual kind-hearted manner.
Don't apologize, Chio. You've done nothing wrong. I was just happy to see you enjoying your food so much.
That's no reason to not eat.
Oh, you okay there, game? Okay.
You're the village leader. Not to mention, the only able-bodied man here. If you get sick, everyone will suffer.
Okay, I get it. I'll eat too. You know, at times like this, you sound more like my wife than my daughter.
What?
Oh no.
It's nothing like that. I just don't want you to get sick, that's all.
No, sweetie, you're 15.
The
No.
daughter caring for her father's health.
Calm down, Chio. It was just a joke.
Chio took a deep breath and glared at me, somewhat embarrassed by her own reaction.
Well, it was in poor taste.
Still blushing, Chio looked straight down at her bowl and started to eat once more. Oh, Chio, don't you understand that it's a father's duty to make her daughter feel awkward? Because even if our age difference makes us more like siblings than a parent and child, by this point you are without a doubt of my family.
Araki!
Oh,
Put that
2
down!
months later.
You're just going to hurt yourself.
That was a quick transition. Hi.
That's a two-person job. Even for adults.
Yes, sir, Koichiro-sama.
Azai, help your brother to keep the frame in place. I want that door fixed before any more bugs make it inside.
Hi.
Understood, Koichiro-sama.
Hi, Koricho-sama. Watching on with pride and anxiety alike, I instructed my two young pupils as they fixed the front door of their new home. Arakai and Azai both made a lot of mistakes, but they listened to me intently and continued to improve every day.
Like this, Koichiro-sama?
Yes, just like that. Be mindful that you don't pierce the sheets. One little hole is all it takes for bugs to get in.
Ew, bugs. Making do with what we had available, my pupils and I removed the bulk of the house's old front door, leaving only the frame. We then replaced the charred wood with sheets, making making for a lightweight door only secure enough to keep out insects and other pests. I guess this will have to do, at least for the time being. I would have rationed the wood more carefully if I'd known they'd be taking in another family so soon. But if I had that kind of foresight, I wouldn't be here to begin with. All that I can do now is schedule another lumber gathering trip into the forest.
How does this look, Koichiro-sama?
If my calculations are right, Korichiro is about 20? Yeah, he should be 20 at this point. Anyway.
Ah, very good, Azai. That'll do for now. You two should go tell your parents the good news, then report back to me after lunch.
Yes, sir!
Hi! Araki and Azai bowed, then ran inside to inform their parents. And that would be my cue to check on my own family. Yo, Chio, what you doing? By the time I returned home, Chio was already waiting for me. She sat in front of the living room table, exercising great restraint as she fought her desire to start eating without me.
There you are, Ko.
There you are, Henry.
I was beginning to think you were going to work through lunch.
Me?
Whoa,
Miss Lunch?
okay.
Not a chance. I wouldn't risk invoking your anger again by not eating.
Glad to hear it.
I took my place on the other side of the table, directly opposite of Chio.
So, how are the repairs on the Kihei family home going? Are the boys doing well?
They're enthusiastic enough, but it'll be a while before they're ready to take over for me.
I keep having to stop myself when his lines come up. My instinct is like, alright, read for myself. Nope, he has a voice, fuck.
Still, it is nice to have some extra hands.
I'm not used to voice acting in visual novel-esque games.
I know what you mean. Kana-chan has been a big help when collecting food and water from the forest.
Kana-chan!
You two really are getting along, aren't you?
Of course. I've waited a long time for a girl my own age to come along.
Pardon me. A little over 1 month ago, a new family wandered into our village. Like me, they fled from the Mirai Kingdom, fearing for their lives. Although they were difficult to accommodate at first, the family of 5 has since proven invaluable, providing much-needed labor when Chio and I were previously doing it ourselves. The mother of the family, another elderly woman, has been learning how to weave, and the father has been whittling down spare wood in order to make crude weaponry. More importantly, the 2 sons, Azai and Akiri, 12 and 13 years old, respectively, have been helping me with manual labor. Similarly, their older sister Kana quickly became friends with Chiyo and has been learning the layout of the forest as well as which plants are edible and which are poisonous.
Speaking of Kana, do you feel she knows the forest well by now? I was thinking of sending the boys in there to search for lumber, so it would help if she escorted them while you continued gathering food.
Well, I guess, but
But...
does that mean the two of us won't be taking any more trips through the forest?
You actually want to walk through the forest with me? When I first came here, the last thing you wanted was to be alone with me, especially in the forest.
That was a long time ago! Your former allies killed my family, and you expected me to just go along with you? Of course I didn't want to go.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I can't really blame you.
Trudeau.
But I'm happy to hear that your mistrust is in the past. It really is easier to navigate through the forest with your help.
Please actually pronunciate your words, sir.
Of course it is. You should know by now how reliable I am. But that still doesn't answer my question.
Right. Our walks through the forest. If you want to go with me that badly, I suppose we could put Kana on food gathering duty and have her brothers help her out.
It's not that I want to go with you or anything.
God damn it, Cindery. Fucking... Ugh.
I just thought it would be nice.
Why is she a Cindery? Ugh. Chiyo hung her head and began to nibble on one of the berries in her bowl. Sigh. This daughter of mine really can't be honest with herself. Even after all this time, she still feels the need to hide her feelings from me. Perhaps 1 year isn't enough time for two people to become family after all. The next day.
Whoa, this place is huge! Do you really come here every day, Nessan?
Anuha? Nissan? It's Nissan. Well, no, it's the other one. But it's still not ne. It's ne. Like, hey, ne. Anyway.
Hey, look! There's a path carved through the bush.
You don't say.
Azai, I'll race you to the big tree over there.
Azai?
You're on!
Hey, hold on a minute. Don't go running off on your own. Jeez, why don't you two ever listen to me?
Because you're the bigger sister. This is why I don't have siblings. Shortly after entering the forest, Azai and Akari ran off. Their older sister Kana soon gave chase, but proved no match for her energetic siblings, and could only trail behind.
That didn't take long.
You know how those two are.
Boys.
They may listen to you intently, but their sister is another matter altogether.
I guess that's just how children are.
Do you have any siblings, Ko? I know it's a bit late to be asking now, but you're always reluctant to talk about your past.
It's alright. It's just my old work that I don't like to talk about. And no, I don't have any siblings. But I did have a couple of childhood friends, and they both had siblings, so I know what it's like.
Same dough. I'm an only child. Siblings, no.
That must have been nice.
Not
As
really.
you already know, I was an only child, and there weren't any other kids around my age either. So even if Kana and her family had come along before our village was set alight, I'm sure we still would have wound up becoming friends.
Aww.
Though, I suppose it's for the best that they came afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. If the Kihei family had fled the Mirai Kingdom before I did, their deaths would now be hanging over my head just like so many others.
So what were your childhood friends like? Were they
God,
good
you asked so many
people?
questions.
Did you remain friends with them when you grew up?
No.
Oh, my friends. It's a bit complicated.
They're dead.
Is that so? Let me
They're
guess.
dead.
One of them was a girl and the other was a boy?
You're right, but it's not what you think. Haru, a while after she found out what Ito and I had been doing for a living, she took her own life.
Oh god, my mind filled in the blank. And now I feel bad, because I was going to joke about it. But it's actually a thing. Fuck.
I see. I'm sorry, Ko. I didn't mean to.
It's fine. There's no way you could have known that.
Yeah, but...
Chio looked up at me with sadness in her eyes. I wasn't sure if she felt sympathy, pity, or a sense of solidarity, given what had happened to her own family. But whichever feeling was behind that look, I couldn't stand seeing Chio look at me like that again.
Forget about it, alright? Let's go find some lumber before the kids finish up doing their rounds.
Also, can I just say I still don't, his voice does not match his appearance whatsoever to me. Not at all. And it makes my brain hurt.
Okay.
My voice doesn't match either, but I'm not a guy. Chio and I walked through the forest in relative silence. In the distance, we could hear rummaging in addition to the occasional gleeful shout or cry of annoyance.
You're never gonna catch me, Netchan!
Yeah. Yeah, you're playing as cat. Yeah.
Oops, almost. You need to work on your leg strength, Netchan.
Nah.
Hold still, you brats! Can you ever just listen to your sister? I'm trying to teach you something important!
Whatever. We're working men now. We leave the food gathering to the women.
Oh.
Right. We fix the house, so you go get the food. That's how society works.
No, that's how this society works.
You brats! Fine!
Oh, okay.
Run through some poison ivy for all I care. Good luck getting out of this forest on your own!
Back, Hana.
Netchan? Did Netchan just abandon us?
Well, you were being brats, so... I tried to stifle my laughter as Chio and I listened in on the conversation being held between the Kaihi siblings.
Those three sure do get along well.
You can say that again. They're like that every day. Yet they always make up in the end.
Indeed. They're just like how we used to be. I try to help you or ask you a question, and you just brush me off.
Well, excuse me for not trusting a complete stranger. Besides, you were far from perfect yourself. I told you time and time again not to follow me, and whenever you did, you wound up getting lost in the forest.
Hey! I was just looking out for you.
If you say so.
Please sound more embarrassed. That would be nice. Thanks.
At any rate, you seem to have learned your lesson, given that you asked me to be
Hello,
your
phone.
guide.
Why wouldn't I? Nobody in Hotsu village knows this forest like you do. So, Elder Spirit of the Forest, where do you think one might find lumber suitable for repairing houses?
Right this way, the little traveler.
Aww. Chio led the way deeper into the forest, taking me to an unfamiliar area. Although I didn't know the forest as well as Chio, I had spent enough time in there to know the area close to town. So if I didn't know where I was, it was a safe bet that we were in pretty deep. I should really make an axe one of these days. Going this far into the forest just to search for fallen trees isn't practical, nor is carrying back wood over such a distance. The village is in decent shape now, and I have Azai and Akai to help Araki to help me, so I should have enough time to fashion a few tools. With ample wood lying around from the tools of the former villagers, not to mention the remains of several houses, securing lumber was never a high priority. My early days in Hotsu were spent utilizing the resources my predecessors had left behind, and using makeshift tools in place of anything more useful like a hammer or an axe. But with a growing village, ongoing repairs, and occasional newcomers, relying on existing resources was no longer an option.
Okay, this ought to do it. What do you think? Did I come through or what?
Chio stopped in front of a fallen tree, which had been pierced by a large rocket as it landed. It would still require brute strength to tear off anything worthwhile, and I need an axe to take away most of it, but it was quite a find nonetheless.
You sure did. As expected of my wonderful daughter.
You're never going to give this whole father-daughter thing a rest, are you? Like I told you from the beginning, we're far too close in age to be parent and child. Nobody in the village believes it anyway. Why do you even bother saying it?
Because I believe it. Chio stared at me with a serious expression on her face, and as though tired of the face.
I know it's not believable. That isn't the point. Chio, what do you suppose the other villagers would think if we weren't parent and child?
exactly what they think of us now, right?
Are you sure about that? A young man and woman not related by blood living together, calling one another by their first names without honorifics. Do I really need to spell it out for you?
I still don't get it. You don't use honorifics with anyone, do you? And so what if we live together and aren't related by blood? That doesn't mean... Wait a minute! You don't mean...
Oh, there's just getting it finally! Chio's face was suddenly dyed bright red. Only 1 year from being of age, Chio could easily pass for a young bride, especially if her husband was a renowned samurai. But after being on our own for so long and spending every day simply trying to survive, such frivolous thoughts never even entered Chio's mind.
You must be joking! Who would marry a worthless samurai like you?
Damn!
Come now, there's no need to get defensive.
Who's being defensive? I'm just setting the facts straight.
Sure.
Calm down, Chio. I have no intention of getting married again.
Again?
Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
I guess.
Again? You were married before?
Though, it still doesn't explain why we're father and daughter, and not siblings.
Because I take too much care of you. Oh, fucking hell. She's got me there. To be honest, when I first saw Chio in that storeroom, I could only think of her as a little girl. A child who needed protecting, far too young and weak to be my sister. But I was wrong, and now it's too late to change our story.
That's because we look so different, you know? When people point out our dissimilar appearances, I can say you take after your mother.
Is that right? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's too late to change our story now anyway. Now let's get moving. You get the boys to help you with the lumber, and I'll go look for Kana-chan.
Whatever you say, Chio.
I wonder how long this is. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna end this here.
I think I've got it.
Shh. I'm gonna end this here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had an enjoyable time, and I hope to see you all again soon. Peace out. Bye-bye.